Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting. I am Jason.
And I am Victoria.
That was very confidently spoken by you.
Thanks. I try really hard.
I do too. But of course, Danielle says I'm trying in a different fashion. So trying is trying. Oh my gosh, we're shifting around. Ooh, my golly gracious.
Cut your head off anymore.
I could have moved. I could have squatted down.
That was crazy. The world shook.
Anyway, sorry about that bumpy ride. Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting. If you don't know who we are a quilt shop in Columbia, Illinois. That's about 15 minutes southeast of St. Louis. If you haven't been by, you need to come by and say hi. If this is your first time watching, I'm here to sell you everything. Wait.
No, I'm not.
Dope. Saturday morning is educational. Hope you're here to learn. We're going to have a fun conversation today.
I don't think we're really learning so much today. We're just kind of chatting.
We're learning.
Podcast.
We're learning. We're discussing things like, why do we do this to ourselves? We all quilt. We all run into problems. Why? Why do I continue to do this? It's kind of a revisit from 4 years ago. We briefly discussed it then. This is more of a, am I still having those problems? And are you still having those problems? And if you didn't see that 4 years ago,
that's okay.
That'd be new to you.
I don't remember this conversation, and I was probably there.
I don't remember it, honestly. I looked at the notes. I'm like, oh, we talked about that. Fun.
Oh,
that's fun.
Cool.
Anyway, so
even there.
If you're out there, say hi. Say hello. We love to know that you're out there. Again, don't forget to use those reacts and those like buttons across the bottom of your screen. That lets me know that you're paying attention and that I'm not just talking to a black box in front of me.
Makes me feel validated.
A little bit. That's a good word. We do have Sadie running the camera today.
Hello.
Thank you, Sadie. We do appreciate that. Also, if you're watching this and you find entertainment or value in the conversation, do me a huge favor. Hit the share button. If you're on the Facebook, if you're on the YouTube side, which we are streaming over there as well, do me a huge favor while you're over there. Hit the subscribe button. That's a little red button that says subscribe on it. Click on that. It's free. It helps us greatly. And if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But why would you do that? Fine.
That sounds boring.
That's also how you know when we go live. You'll see the notifications, which is super fantastic. Then you don't have to remember. We got people saying hello. So we got 2.0. Good morning. Glad you're out there. Good morning, Jane. Jane says it's either my computer or there's something funny about that music. What does that mean? What did you do at our music, Sadie?
So, when you come into Facebook Live, if you're not there at the beginning, it will speed itself up to catch you up to live.
Oh, that's weird.
So she could have had it be like really fast.
Trying to catch up.
When she popped in.
Thanks technology. You're weird. So
I think maybe that's what she's talking about.
I would bet that's probably close to right, and if not, don't be late, and we won't have those problems anymore. That's my solution to that. I got nothing more. All right. Good morning, Alvina. Good to see you. Hello, Sandy. Dolores, represents Southern Illinois. Good to see you on. Good morning, Donna. Special thank you to those helping with the Quilts of Valor. Yes, Donna needed some help getting some quilts quilted up to get ahead of the request lines, the nominations that are coming for Quilts of Valor. So we had several people jump up and take some donation quilts to quilt up. We do appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
If you need any more help, Donna, let us know. We will gladly post it out there as well. I think it's not that big of a deal for us to do such things. So, and good morning, Pamela, down in the hot Alabama. I imagine it's hot. I can't imagine it's cooler than here. That'd be weird.
You know, maybe.
Could be.
It's not impossible.
I mean, Pam's pretty cool.
Pam is cool.
Pam, what temperature is it right now?
Right this very moment.
Because we need to know
Alabama.
if it's warmer here or there.
Could we Google that information? Sure, we could, but no.
I ain't got time for that.
Nobody got no time for that. Morning, Vicky. Good to see you on as well. It's such a silly, strange request to ask of people.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you feel left out, by all means, tell us what your current temperature is, where you're at right now, because that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because it's okay here this morning, but it's supposed to get hot. Supposed to get hot again.
Over it.
All right, so we have some general announcements before we get into our discussion.
Lots.
First and foremost, it's July.
It's hot.
Yes, we just had that discussion. It is 2024, and we live in Monroe County, so we do have the Monroe County Fair coming up. Woo! If you aren't familiar with that, it is a week-long celebration of all things county. You got your farm stuff, you got your shows, you got your whatnots and what have you.
Mostly farm stuff.
There's figure eight races, there's tractor pulls, there's demolition derby, there's all kinds of awesome. Warm and Cozy will be at the Monroe County Fair We're going to be taking some long arms with us. We're going to probably be doing some demo-y stuff during the days just because the building opens up at noon and nobody really gets there till 4. So we'll do some demo-y stuff all day, every day. We'll have a list of what we're going to have coming up that you guys will all get to see. But there's something very important I need you to all know about. Are you ready to tell them?
I'm so excited.
Okay. This is a first. Like nobody else has heard this information yet. You are the first ones to hear it. This is why you show up on Saturdays or anytime we have a video to get information. We have been given the opportunity to raffle off 4 St. Louis Cardinal tickets.
Woo!
So we will be giving those away during the Monroe County Fair. We'll be having signups at our booth. So if you plan on coming to the Monroe County Fair, you better make sure you come and say hi and get yourself signed up for that. Because that is going to be fantastic. Those are going to be compliments of our great friends over at Fox 2. They're awesome people, and it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get a chance to go see the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to be at the Monroe County Fair. Like, there's fair foods.
Right.
All that stuff.
They
Why
have,
would
like,
you go?
cows that
They
you can go see.
Also, you guys are in the air-conditioned building.
We are in the
we are
air-conditioned
in the
building,
air-conditioned
by the way.
building, which
I
is
am not sitting out in the heat for a week. No thanks. So, also you can come and hang out in the air-conditioned building. Check out some other vendors. It'll be awesome. You're going to love it.
And we have M&Ms to give away.
We have surprise gifts to give away. It's all going to be a whole week of fun. If you don't have anything going on, it's going to be the week of, I just had the date and I don't want to second guess it. Sunday the 21st.
Through the 28th.
Through Sunday the 28th. Usually the 28th is pretty much a teardown day, so I wouldn't expect much that day. But the 21st through the 27th, for sure, make sure you come out to the Monroe County, that's Illinois, Fairgrounds, and visit us, Warm and Cozy, and all that stuff. All right. I got some people saying hi. Let's see. Pamela said they have a heat advisory for 6 days now. Good Lord. I'm so glad Alexa reminds you. That's just crazy. Aletha, out in Allenton, Pennsylvania. It was already 80 this morning at 7. Yeah, it's going to get warm in there. Jackie, hello in Indiana. Hot, humid Indiana, Kentucky area. And we got Deborah over on the YouTube. Good morning from Alabama. Another Alabama. Look at that. That's 2.
That's 2. Yeah. Count them 2.
84 degrees where she's living. Is there a pattern for the coffee quilt behind you? That pattern is from a international mystery quilt that we did a couple years ago.
Is it?
It's Germany. It's Bavarian. I do not remember off the top of my head. Miss Sadie will look into that. I'm sure she can post something in the leaks out there for you, Miss Deborah. So you know. But thank you for asking. All right. So Monroe County Fair. We talked about that and the tickets and raffling and all that and everything else. Come see us.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Next most important, All Illinois Shop Hop. It's coming. So All Illinois Shop Hop is August and September.
Yes.
The entire months. I have joined many of the Facebook groups for all the other shop hops out there. Have you joined any of these yet?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I believe the Mid-Atlantic states are doing theirs right now.
Okay.
It just started on the 1st. So I believe Pennsylvania, Aletha, I believe that's your neck of the woods. I believe theirs is going on this month, and so that'll be July and August. If you're not familiar with the All-State Shop Hops, they're put on by a third party and help coordinate so you can go and visit all these other shops and see who's got what. You get a little stamp or a little something at each little shop, which is fantastic, and you get to kind of check out who's in your neighborhood. Of course, there's prize drawings if you can finish all that stuff. But we're going to be doing that.
We are.
You're going to come visit us. This year for Illinois, we're doing patterns.
Instead of blocks.
We have them, and they're not full 8.5 by 11 sheets, so the little binders they have for you to purchase to keep track of them, which we are pre-selling. Are super great idea to keep track of all that stuff. So what's going to be neat is then when you go to those shops, you can get like a fat quarter or something.
Yeah.
You know, make that work really well. What's the other things we're doing pre-sales on?
T-shirts.
What color are they?
They're pink.
Pink shirts.
I'm so excited.
When are we getting those? Have you heard anything?
Yeah. When am I getting my pink shirts?
I don't know.
I look to Sadie because I expect that she should know everything.
I'm sure it's any day now.
Any day now.
Any day now.
Any day now. On the net note, if you want one of those pink Illinois Shop Hop shirts, they are going to be limited in supply. I will not get more. So if you want, I suggest you pre-order it yesterday or today or now. It's fine. Or after the video. It's fine.
You know, whenever you get to it.
But that's coming. So be prepared. Magazines are in store available for pickup. So if you need to start planning your route for the participating shops, now is a great time to get that and start planning. We have all the way from Anna, Illinois, all the way up to Chicago. Like there are quilt shops all in between there. Is it 72?
Yeah.
72 shops?
72 total.
Including ourselves. We're the best. Personally, I may be biased. I don't know. Anyway.
There's probably a little bit of bias happening there.
Maybe a smidgen of that. What we got going on here? Susan, good morning from Lowell. Hey, 69 degrees. Nice. Hope it ends the end of the July.
Michigan.
I think she was talking about the Michigan All-State Shop.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
That's cool.
They have theirs at the end of July. Okay, nice. Well, that'll be fun. So if you're up, and I think a lot of the states are doing this. Do we know how many states they cover for the all states yet?
It's quite a lot.
It's a lot of them. Frankly, it's kind of fantastic. So anyway, we got Pam Shore says it's 81, feels like 89. Heat index of 107. I'm not going south anymore until December.
I don't have fun with that, Pam.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, as long as you're having a good time.
Just stay cool. Drink lots of water. Quilt as much as you can. Hey, Brownie, good to see you on.
Good morning.
Fantastic. All right. So, Illinois Shop Hop's coming. Get ready. Plan accordingly.
Yes.
You have started a campaign for us on the TikToks.
I sure have.
Or TikTok, whichever. It's a video platform.
It is. It is a video platform.
Yeah.
So that's all that it is. Short 30-second videos. They're a lot of fun. I try to keep them pretty up to date with like funny little trends that I see other business lines are doing. Like we do a lot of stuff that I saw like during prom season. Mm-hmm. They'll have like dress stores will have fun little TikToks that they do with their staff. And so I try to like do things like that, but like switch it up to like make it fit us. So that's what we got going on TikTok. I do try to make sure that they do make it over to Facebook and over to Instagram if you follow us on any of those. Okay. But now we have a new social media platform. So if you want to be the first to see those sorts of things, hop on over to TikTok, follow us on there. Okay. I mean, you don't even have to be on there for anything else if that's not your thing. Yeah. But it's pretty awesome. Yeah. And
Sandy said she loves your TikTok videos.
Oh, thanks, Sandy.
Thank you so much. Yes, please give us the reactions on the Facebook side. That would be awesome. We appreciate that. Let us know you're there. But yeah, those are cool. I've enjoyed those. Those have been fun.
They're a lot of fun
to say, your most recent one with the Muni Band stand that you hope they play whatever, still one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one
your
was
mom's
funny.
Face of what? Like, was a very real face. It wasn't even a pretend face.
I told her, I was like, Mom, I need you to act like I am saying something really silly. And then she delivered, and I was like, oh, I've seen that face before. That hurt my feelings a little.
You got a little bit of insight. You got a little bit of insight there.
Yeah.
An actual react to Mom's face. Yeah, that's a real thing. Anyway. Okay, so if you're not doing that, make sure you go do that.
Sadie linked the TikTok because she's on it today.
She is all over that today. It's fantastic. Another thing coming on that you all need to know about, a couple super fantastic things. You know me. You know me? You know you. I have this cool piece of paper. Do you know what that is? It's a piece of paper. Sadie, do you have a graphic that you can use so I don't have to use a piece of paper? Thank you. Check this out. So Janome is giving away a sewing machine this month.
10 of them.
10 Loft sewing machines. Are you looking for a new travel machine of awesome proportion? This here is the Loft. It is a great little machine. It does come in a gray tone, and it does have that cool little blue panel over there. It is electronic. It is a great little machine. We've had them occasionally in the shop, but sometimes they come in and they go out just as quick. But they're giving one away. If you want a chance to win this, you do have to come and shop. You have to be in here. We do have a QR code that you'll scan. It'll take you to the giveaway form that you'll fill out, and that'll enter you to win. There's no purchase necessary, but you do have to come into a participating dealer to be able to sign up for that. I cannot do that for you over the lines, over the video, any of that stuff. So you got to come in and see me. And while you're getting signed up for that, maybe you need a new machine. Maybe that old singer that you've had for 15 years is making funny, odd noises.
You might want to get that checked out.
By getting rid of it. Get you a new one. Let's see what we can do for trade-ins for you. Come and talk to me. All right. And also, last but not least, this one's the most important. Who out there are Stripology fans? Raise your hands. Or hit the like buttons or the love buttons. Come on. I know you're out there. Super important. If you are not aware and don't follow it, there is a new pattern coming out, a new book coming out from GE Designs. It's called Quickies. For those of you that are not of the quilting world, that is not what you think. They are quick patterns, unless that's what you were thinking. Then you're correct. That's what it means. Look at all the reactions. Yes, I know. How can you not love it? And when we have Danielle, who is a certified stripology educator, like, if you can't have Gudrun herself teaching you, Danielle's the next best thing. Like, there you go. And she's here in our shop all the time. And she
works
does,
here.
like, at Guilds. And she does show, like, everything here. It's fantastic. Yeah. So, Quickies is coming out in August. Mm-hmm. They are pre-selling the book. By they, I mean we. We have pre-ordered books for you. And if you get a pre-ordered book, guess what you get with that?
A brand new... I don't know.
Say it.
I was gonna... No.
Guess it. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, guess. Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, you love technology.
Well, I'm gonna hang out until I know we're back. I don't know. That is...
Your battery is low.
Really?
But it's charging. And my battery is fine. Anyway, I think we might be back.
We're going to give it a moment here. We'll see what happens.
Let us know if you can see us.
I see YouTube still running.
Okay, we're back.
I think we're back. I think we're back. This, I'm unsure of our technology status anymore. I think I'm going to...
But what do you get?
Set it all on fire. Oh, yeah, we were at that point in the conversation. Yeah. What do you get with the stripology book? You get a signed version.
You get a signed version.
Gudrun Erla. So if you want a signed copy of the Quickies book, go to our website and pre-order that. We do have it available on the website.
Yes, we do.
Sadie will put a link out there. You can click on that. That way you know you get a copy. You'll get it from us. It'll pre-signed. It'll be fantastic. There is more information about that. I don't know that I can give you more information on those things because that is a proprietary, private conversation. But it's a surprise. And there's also, there's more exciting stuff for you to know about. So, you got so excited. Pause. We did. We broke Sadie's computer.
We broke it. We were so excited.
Whoops.
Oops. That was what you call a cliffhanger?
That was the worst kind of cliffhanger right there.
For real.
Anyway, so there you go. Sadie put a link out there for you. You can absolutely click on that and go get yourself a pre-ordered copy of that. Again, it will be out in August. And there are 17 patterns in that book, so that's a substantial amount of patterns. And with it being called Quickies, that means that it's intended to be fast. So quick patterns that you will get done quickly. I'm going to strongly encourage you to go check that out. Get one of those for yourself.
Will be awesome.
You'll love it. You will. I'm sure of it. Okay, now hopefully I didn't lose all my viewers. Again, if you're out there and you haven't shared yet, go ahead. Give me some people back. Because our technology. Let them know
that we're back and that it's all good.
It's all good. Okay. So we're going to talk about why do we do this quilty stuff? Why? Because there's so many like, oh my gosh, let's talk about the oh my gosh things and then see if it's really as bad as we think it is.
Right.
Number one, I do want to know this though. What was your first quilt? Do you remember your first quilt?
I do.
Are you working on your first quilt right now? Raise your hands. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
There was no reason for that, just because.
Nope, just because.
You have to share your first quilt.
I am going to share my first quilt. Okay, so everybody, and I tell people all the time that my introduction to quilting was the rag quilt that Danielle decided we had to make like 2 days before Christmas for my sisters.
Oh, that's right.
It was.
I wasn't there for that. I
not
think
my
I
favorite.
Was like an infant.
Maybe.
Not
I don't know. It might have been pre-Victoria.
I think it was pre.
All I know is that was my first introduction, and I was not a fan. Because something about snipping the edges.
It was.
No thanks. But that said, I then later in life, after they opened the shop, and now we're doing quilt shop stuff, I decided I would make a quilt so that way I understand the process.
Yeah. So
first quilt I made, a turning 20 fat quarters, turned it into a quilt. It was bluish in colors. I believe there was a spot of green there. I went blue-greens, was really kind of interesting choice.
I like blue and green together.
It's not a terrible choice. It's not the worst color combination I've ever made.
I mean, unless you do like blues and greens that aren't at all in the same like shade range.
Well, again, it was my first go at it, and it's still around. It's actually I gave it to mom or grandma, my mom, Trish. She has that. I don't know where it's at. She might have hidden it away. I don't know. But it was a nice quilt. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. Definitely had some flaws. How about you?
So I was first introduced to the idea right around when Mom and Gramps were going to open the shop. I also made a rag quilt.
Yeah.
Also didn't enjoy so much. I just liked the idea of being involved whenever they would go to the church and quilt. But then when we opened the shop, I was running long arms for forever. And I decided I wanted to make a quilt. And my uncle, my mom's brother, he's in the Navy, and he needed a quilt of valor. And so my first quilt was a quick trip for Quilts of Valor.
Well, that's funsy.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
It was.
It was emotional. It was really dusty in the air that day. There was a lot of things in people's eyes. Yeah. Somebody was cutting onions. It was wild.
It was crazy. It was outside, which was crazy. Why were we cutting onions outside?
It was a joke.
It was
People
weird.
were crying.
People were crying.
It was emotional.
It was a pretty quilt.
It was a pretty quilt. It meant a lot. It was very cool. Well, that was a good story.
Yeah.
How about you, Sadie? What was your first quilt?
My first quilt was also a quick trip.
Another quick trip? Get out. Okay.
Queen size.
You went queen size. You just went for it, huh? Just head first, right into it. Okay.
For my mother-in-law.
Oh, very nice.
Black, gray, and teal.
Was that the teal one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one was pretty. You got pictures of it beforehand? Oh, very cool. I did not take pictures of mine.
I have pictures of mine.
Do you really? Do you guys take pictures of your quilts? Do you keep a log of your quilts?
And you should.
If you don't.
By the way.
Huh, interesting.
I have a folder in my albums on my phone that is just quilts.
Oh, well, that's fancy. That's smart.
They're all in one spot.
That's a good idea. I probably should do that as well. So, hi, Teresa. Glad you made it. Aletha looks like she's getting ready to bind her first quilt. Ooh, a 9-patch. Nice. Love that. I am not a fan of binding.
Nope.
I wrestle with that one a little bit.
I'd pay someone else to do it for me.
Teresa's first quilt was a curved bow tie in browns. That's cool. I bet that was beautiful.
I feel like if nobody ever tells you that something's hard, then you just you figure it out.
Yeah.
But like to me, curved being your first quilt is actually crazy because I know that curves are hard. But also, I feel like if nobody told me that curves were hard, I would have done curves as my first quilt and wouldn't have known the difference.
No big deal. That happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's why I try not to dissuade anybody from trying something.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be better if I said, you're not going to enjoy that as much and your end result may not make you happy and you may get discouraged with the whole process? I might throw that out there, but just, as long as you're aware of it, maybe. Anyway, Ms. Pamela, first quilt was a rag quilt with denim on one side and flannel on the other. That's a hefty
that's heavy
quilt.
Yeah.
Jeez Louises. But her first quilted one was a turning 20. Yes.
Nice.
And she gave it to her son. Very cool.
Aww.
That's awesome.
Nice.
It's a good gift. I love that. 2.0s. Let's see. She's got first quilt was with my grandma, age 7 to 8. Quilt top was in the cedar chest. I got warm coat. Oh, we quilted that. Nice.
Aww.
That's so awesome to be part of that history. That's fun.
Awesome.
I don't know if I remember that one or not, but I love that story.
We quilted so many, I don't remember it.
I love that story.
That's awesome.
Very cool. And Pamela, yes, you should take pics. Always take pics.
Yes, always.
There's so many times I'm like, ooh, I should show you this quilt that Nope.
Don't have a picture of it. No idea.
No photos, no proof. No, you can't. Nope, doesn't exist. Sorry. I would say I've done close to 30 quilts at this point.
I've done maybe 10.
I don't even know where they're at half the time.
Right. I don't enjoy the piecing process so much.
Yeah.
I get bored very, very quickly, and I'm not patient enough, and so my 1/4 inch is not a 1/4 inch.
It's a 1/4 inch.
It's it's not great.
It's just held together. Let's just say that.
No, most of the time it's not even that. So my favorite way to
church
piece,
quilt. It's super holy.
Yes. My favorite way to piece is put it in front of mom's way, and then it just magically is done.
Believe me, your mom knows your tactics. She's aware.
I love you, Mom. Thanks for being so great.
Yeah. Jane Q, her first quilt was a rail fence that she gave to her mother-in-law. Very nice. Love that. Very cool. Love that so much. Nice. All right. Well, good stories. Good stories. So obviously you've all done some quilting. You've done some making and piecing and things of the sort. Let's talk about the necessary things that we have to deal with because we quilt, and then ask ourselves, why do I bother doing this? Number 10, machine maintenance.
Blech.
I mean, really.
I just give it to my dad. I just put it in his way.
Actually, it's not even that big of a deal because since she puts it in front of her mom, who then sews it up, her machine stays pretty pristine. Magic. It's necessary. We do need to maintain our machines, but if we don't, where would we be left? You couldn't actually do anything without the machine.
We'd be left to hand stitch it, and that would make me cry.
That would take a really long time.
Those of you who do that, I applaud you.
I applaud you, and thank you for
so
hand
great.
quilting. I
cannot be me, but I love you for it.
That's great. I applaud you. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you on. Pamela's made around 300 rag quilts.
All with Cuddle on the back. Girl.
That's so fuzzy. Huh. That's pretty nifty, though.
That's awesome.
All gifted. Some pics. Piece quilts made around 30. Nice. That's a crazy amount of rag quilts.
That's awesome. And
I love it.
How
are your hands?
How do your hands exist at this point?
I need to.
Are they like claws? Lego hands. Oh my gosh. I bet they're not. I bet that's fantastic.
I bet it's great.
I bet there's a lot of machine maintenance that's happening there, especially with the Cuddle. For sure. All right. So yeah, make sure, maintenance generally once every large project or so. Take that needle plate off, get out the lint that you can. Don't let it pack in there. You're not working with felt. Make sure you clean out your feed dogs. Those are the one thing that get absolutely the most lint packed into them. And then they don't feed properly, and then we cry a little bit. So maintenance, it's a necessary evil, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But
there are worse things, but yeah.
Maybe. Let's see.
Sometimes it's relaxing, it's like...
To clean a machine?
Yeah, because, sometimes it's like a spa day, but for...
Are you one of those people that takes enjoyment in taking out a large piece of lint?
Oh my gosh.
Piece?
On TikTok, I watch these videos where people put hot glue in, their, phone holes, where you plug in your phone to charge it, or where you would plug in your headphones. People are putting hot glue in them and then pulling out all this lint. I could scroll through those TikToks for hours. It's my favorite thing.
Maybe I need to start taking video when I'm maintenance machines.
You should.
There are pieces of lint that are felted, basically. They are their own substantial, and you just...
it's crazy, but also, it's so satisfying.
I don't make people feel bad about it, though. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, no, I had that in there. Here's the deal. It's in there. It's okay.
You just don't, disclose which machine,
I don't put somebody's name on it?
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
That would be mean.
All right, fair enough.
But that would make good content. I say we look into that. Let us know what you guys would think about satisfying machine
I'm going to have people bring them in their machines just for cleaning, and then I'm not going to have...
Just end up on the TikTok.
all just feed of nothing but lint pulling out. That'll be fun. All right. Another thing we deal with, some of us, if we don't have a long arm, wonder why I do this to myself, especially if you sew and quilt on your domestic machine, is basting. Not necessarily like turkey basting, though I love
that sounds
turkey.
like more fun.
Boy, I want
honestly.
some turkey right now. Where can I get turkey?
I don't know.
I need a turkey.
I think we need Sadie, where can we get a turkey now? I need you to Instacart us a turkey.
Preferably cooked.
I was frozen.
I don't. No, not live. No, live. Running around screaming.
I need it delivered to my mouth.
When we're talking about basting, we're talking about pinning that sandwich together or using spray glue. To me, it just makes me cringe a little bit. I find no enjoyment in pinning, but usually I stab myself.
Yes.
How about you? Are you a pinner? Do you like to pin the basting of it all? Is that exciting for you? I'm curious.
Yeah,
let me know.
Let me know. Is it something you do on the couch, you're watching,
But you can't, because you have to have it laid out, so everything doesn't crinkle up, because you don't want folds and tucks on the back.
Icky.
It's not necessarily icky. I think icky is a bit aggressive, but...
Hard on the body. Though.
It's definitely harder on the body. And I've seen some people come with some nice ideas of putting it on a noodle and rolling it on, and kind of an interesting concept.
Yeah. But Quilter does that for me. Cool.
Yes.
Honestly valid. Yep.
And again, I've said that before in videos, that as a long armer, I will put your quilts on a frame and just baste it for you with a stitch, so that way you don't have to worry about pinning and gluing all that. Or if you're just having it long armed, and I got to do all that. But
if you want to quilt it yourself, which is totally valid.
Right, because long arming is not in your budget, either having somebody do it or getting your own. You have to baste it. You need to baste it, whether you like it or not. Jane does not like any form of basting. Worst part of quilting. Yeah. It is. I agree with you, Jane. You're not alone. I baste down the sides of my quilts, but I can use a long arm.
Yep.
I've tried the pinning thing. I understand it. I get it. I don't like it.
I am not a fan. Props to you if you are a fan. That life ain't for me.
All right, here we go. This one. I need to know your opinions because I know we have people on both sides of the aisle on this conversation. Pardon me. Pinning. You're piecing your blocks together. Do you pin?
No.
You're putting your borders on. Do you pin?
No.
Okay.
Are you asking me or are you asking them?
Well, I mean, you're here, so I'm asking you.
Right.
But I'm also asking you. Let me know. You do not? Why not?
For a couple of reasons. Number one, I have a tendency to poke myself.
Okay.
And then bleed everywhere, and I'm usually not aware of the fact that I'm bleeding everywhere. Like, this has happened on multiple occasions where there was one time we were putting up a quilt and I'm bleeding on the wall because I didn't realize that I had stabbed myself.
You like to tell that story. I think it's the second time you've told it.
Because it's kind of a funny story, and also, like, be aware of things when you're pinning. It's helpful. Like,
yeah.
That's not, something I feel like I should have to say, but, like, apparently, that's not everyone knows this.
Right.
So there's that, and I really don't want to bleed on my quilt because that would make me cry.
Now, pinning is a general term. Is there an alternative to pinning that you're okay with?
I use Wonder Clips.
Clipping.
I don't.
You see that? Look at that. Clip, clip, clip. Those are fun. You got big ones, you got small ones, whatever you want. Actually, speaking back to GE Designs.
They just came out with some clips.
They do. They have, you can get a big bag of large clips.
They're like biggins.
I don't remember how many's even in the bag, but we have 3 bags of them right now. It's fantastic.
Like 40 plus or something.
You could always get those.
And they're pink.
Are they pink?
Yes.
I just know the bag is very much a magenta colored bag, which is exciting. But I wasn't sure what color the clips were.
Also, I don't starch as much as it anymore because we have the Laura Star.
Yeah.
And because I have the Laura Star, like, everything, it just is like, if you line things up good enough, you don't have to pin so much. It's when I'm putting, like, borders on and stuff, or I'm, like, piecing, like, a whole row together that I'll use clips. Yeah. This is why Mom gets
to each his own. To each his own, because there are people that will not pin at all. They're just going to hold it together and go. I'm going to tell you now, if you want things to line up, and your biggest complaint in your world of sewing is like, my points never perfectly line up, but they're always, it's because you didn't pin it. You need to pin it. It's annoying, but if you want a better result, it is a better option. And again, pinning via an actual pin or a clip will make a world of difference, especially if you're putting borders on.
Oh, I always use clips.
And we talked about that with our long armor conversations, how to properly put on a border. We do have that somewhere previously conversated.
We should review that also, because that was like 3 years ago or something.
No, it wasn't actually that long ago. We've had a conversation about that, yeah. Remember I had the whiteboard here?
Oh, like 2 weeks ago. Well, no, I know that, but we didn't I guess...
I did.
I guess we did go into detail.
I did.
It's been a long week.
Some people like the sew tight.
The magnets, that's a new thing that's coming to market. Seeing a lot more of that. People using magnets to hold their fabrics together. I like the idea of it. Magnets are definitely a little bit more expensive just because magnets are always expensive, but they will hold just as well, if not more so. Like, magnets are scary. You get them earthen magnets that, like, they'll clamp together and grab your finger.
Yes.
They pinch.
Yes.
I've bled for one. I didn't want to, but I did. It hurt.
I've never gone that far.
I have. It was not willful. Believe
that sounds
me.
Awful. Well, like, we do the Zappy Dot, the cozy dots that we sell in store. And, like, a couple weeks ago, I was making some, and they kept grabbing my fingers.
They can. You gotta
they
be careful.
hurt.
It's not fun.
They are not fun.
Let's see here. So, going back to the basting, Cindy will do a spray baste on her ironing board.
Okay.
Safe. Deborah has no problem with pinning because she has us put the quilts together for her.
Queen.
Magic. That's how you avoid pinning.
Yeah.
Have somebody else do it. Vicky, definitely pin to match seams together. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sandy uses clips. No more pins. I'm with you on that one.
Yep.
Alvina, when I have long strips, I use a combination of pins and clips. Yep. Okay. Everything to hold those strips together, because if you're doing a long strip, you don't want stuff shifting. So very smart. Pamela is definitely a pinner. Cindy likes to pin long sections. They keep points and intersections correct. Absolutely, as you should. And Pamela prefers clips when binding. Well, I've seen a lot more of that. I love that. Yeah, it holds it really well because it comes over. It keeps things nicely stable, which is neat. Which, you have that nice little curve right there.
Or
because it fits over that bulk of the binding. Anyway,
curve.
All right. So we can all agree that pinning, while not fun, is not always
Some
the worst
people
thing.
prefer it though. Like
some
Sandra
prefer it.
just commented that she's a pinning fiend.
Wow, a fiend! Wow, that's awesome, but scary all at the same time. She pins everything.
She must.
Cat's pinned to the wall.
Oh wow,
Stop that.
was really dark and dramatic.
It was really more of a joke.
So number 7.
Okay, moving on. All right, another big problem that we always run into, there's so many ideas and not enough time. So at this point, I need somebody to come up with a time extender.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
Never mind.
No.
That's a tangent for another day.
Good Lord help me.
It's about time. It's about how our calendar is silly.
Whose calendar is silly?
Ours. The way it works.
Oh, I'm not getting into that. This is a whole nother tangent.
I know. That's why I wasn't going to start it.
I mean, my question to you is how many projects, honestly, do you have currently in process? I can't wait to see the results on this. I would love to know how many projects do you have ready to go right now? Not necessarily how much fabric do you have sitting around, but like I know I have this project, that project, that project. And if it's over 200, just put a wave sign or give me some reactions, then I'll know that that's get it. I think I have one for sure that I have not bothered starting yet.
I've got that one that I was gonna make for school, the one that I was gonna take with me, the small one with that we bought at the one.
Oh, that cool panel.
The panel.
Yep.
I have one with fabric that I bought at a quilt show out of a bus. That was cool. Yeah. It's all art gallery. It's really pretty. But it needs like borders or something. I don't remember what the problem is with that, but that's not done.
Okay.
I was in a JoJo class. I need to finish that quilt because we were gonna hang that up in the shop, and it's still not done. So that probably needs to get done like this weekend. And then I also bought a bag while I was at a quilt show that I still haven't taken out of. Like they gave me a bag that has like the kit in it in another bag, right? Like a takeaway bag. Yeah. It hasn't left the takeaway bag.
Ooh, okay.
So I have 4, and
18 years old, and she's got at least 4 projects in the works. We'll call them WIPs, works in progress.
Yes.
Varying states of progress, mostly non-progress. But there.
I guess it is 50-50. Like.
Gracious. Oh my gosh. All right, so Sandra's basting her cat to the wall. That's unfortunate. Poor kitty. Run, kitty. That's
Why are we
It's funny.
putting cats on walls?
It's funny. It's fine. The cat, no cats were harmed in the making of this joke. Teresa has 2 new projects to count. Perfect. Cindy, Matthew, got 2, at least 10. At least 10.
Valid.
You're good.
That's valid.
Cool. Sandra is 10 less than 100, so 90? Is that math?
How you do math?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go 90.
Was more than 10 less than 100. Maybe.
Over 10 less than 100. Yeah. Oh, so
Oh.
you're in between. I misread that. Sorry. So
Yeah.
that's a solid range. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Pamela doesn't even want to count.
Fair.
Queen.
Totally fair. Jane's coming in with 5. That's
Valid.
a solid number.
Yeah.
Love that. That's more than myself. But again, I don't like piecing, so I avoid projects so that way I don't feel obligated. Miss Sandy, not really sure how many projects, possibly 30 to 40. 5 in progress. Holy cow. That's cool. Just juggle between them. Dolores hanging in there with 5 projects. Okay. And Amy, I have 6 not out of the package.
Valid.
That's okay.
You're a queen for that.
Again, collecting is a real thing. It's okay. Nobody's judging.
I'm not judging. I don't got the room to judge.
But again,
so like 4 is like a reasonable number. 4 is reasonable because everyone else was like, we're all like in that 4 to 5 to 6 range.
Okay.
The majority of us.
10 to 30.
To 10 to 30.
30.
Less than 100, maybe over. We don't really know.
That's okay. Like, so 4 is like a reasonable amount. So I don't know why we're judging me. Right. Like, I feel validated.
I didn't even ask you what's your number at. What are you at?
It's probably like 8.
You got 8 projects and oh my
like
Lord.
Queen.
It's bad.
That's valid.
Sadie hanging over with 8 projects. No wonder you're hiding in the corner. I know what you're talking about. Dolores likes making bags, so she does them first. Okay. Now, I have to say to that, it actually isn't bad to have multiple projects going because if you are in the middle of something, sometimes you need to like break that monotony up. Yeah, work on another project. So something quick and simple like a bag. Not that bags are always simple, but finish a bag. That way you get that sense of accomplishment back, and then that way you can keep going forward, not continually cutting all these half square triangles and squaring them up, because why am I doing this? Anyway, so that's not a bad idea. So we don't have enough time in the day for all these things.
Right.
But again, don't let it overwhelm you. It's fine. Just keep working on what you can.
Thanks, Susan.
What's
Susan's
that?
backing me up.
4 is reasonable? Okay. That's right. You needed some support
girl.
on that one because I was kind of shaming you for it.
You were. I appreciate the love and support, guys.
She does.
I mean, I'm counting everything that I have, like fabric, pattern, everything.
Yeah, that's where I was going. If you've bought fabric with an intentional pattern in mind, that is a project.
Yeah.
Now, I just buy fabric.
Oh, I do that.
I don't buy it with any sense of direction. I don't know what's going to happen to it. Probably nothing.
We ain't counting that.
No, we don't count that. We don't care about that. That's for, I decided this project, and I got something that can go with that.
Ooh.
So I got a stash to work from.
Right.
That's what I call it. Working stash. Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right. So what do we got here? So Pam was too far out there. That's okay, Pam. You're good. You keep going. Just keep treading water. You're doing great.
You're doing a great job.
300 rag quilts, you've got to pass.
Yeah.
Nobody's counting.
Yeah, you're good.
Sandy loves block of the months. Those are great motivators.
They are.
By the way, if you haven't done a block of the month, those are nice because you can do them in small sections over the course of a period of time. Makes it a little bit more
enjoyable. Because
then I can finish that, set it aside, work on the next one.
Yeah.
Or you buy the whole kit and leave it as one of your projects.
Good. So even though Susan said that we missed the emoji of her laughing, we were kind of ignoring that because we were taking as much support as she can get at this point. 4 is reasonable-ish. It's a number.
It's,
we're not judging here. Judge-free zone.
I am a student. I'm going to school.
She's got many more years ahead of her of collecting projects that are going to hang out. Believe me, that 4 is going to grow. That's a matter of time. All right.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's enough time. I don't have the time. We just don't have it. Because of the not having enough time, we have other problems that stop us from enjoying our hobby. So why do we continue our hobby? Chores and daily housekeeping.
I would rather.
Hopefully your significant other does that so you can continue on with your projects.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, cats and dogs don't necessarily do the housekeeping for us the way they should.
I think we should teach them how.
Maybe teach them how to use a vacuum.
I think we could teach Jack how to use a vacuum.
You think we could?
I think
with that tail, he could just sweep the floor.
You mean, really?
But we need some sort of butler and or staff to do laundry. I mean, who does laundry? I need somebody to do laundry for me.
You can do your own laundry.
I don't want to do my laundry anymore.
Oh, that's not, that sounds like a you problem.
That's a me problem. Yeah, I mean, it's a necessary evil. I don't know how that ended up on this list. I think I wrote this list, but it's an awful list.
I don't think it's an awful list.
Well, that number.
I just think that, that one specifically, I would choose sewing over doing any of those things any day. So I don't let them get in the way of doing my hobby. I just,
So
laundry will get done a different day.
I think if you do this right, you could just make your own new shirt every day. Hear me out. Then you're just left with food. Somehow you got to be able to make your own food while you're
it's 100%
creating
cotton.
Something.
It's natural fibers.
You could eat the shirt that you wore the day before. Yes, that was a terrible decision and a horrible conversation. Pam, doing laundry as she watches. That's multitasking right there. Absolutely. Right. So plan your time. I'm going to do laundry during Saturday morning coffee. Perfect. Ta-da. And then you're not missing out on any sewing time.
Right.
Also, you could bring your sewing machine into the kitchen while making yourself a snack. Let the pot cook and boil while you're sewing. Just mind both carefully. Keep your fingers out the needles.
Don't burn your hands down.
Don't. No.
Set timers and reminders, please.
Please set timers and reminders. Don't do that. Yeah, that was a really weird one. I'm not sure how that got in there. Other things that we deal with that we really don't wish we had to deal with in our quilting hobby. Pressing.
Unless you have a lower star iron.
This is the one reason I was going through this list. I'm like, that one's not such an issue for me anymore because we went to the lower star iron.
And now it's almost fun.
But we're supposed to press. If you don't have a lower star, you don't know the magic of it. Always remember that you're supposed to press and then slightly lift and press. You don't want to iron and drag because that stretches your fabric. Also, you can't use steam on a regular iron because that will saturate your fabric and stretch it and distort it more.
I didn't know that ironing your seams and stuff stretched your fabric.
If
so
you're
that explains
pressing
why.
and dragging, it'll.
I mean, I don't know if I dragged, but definitely before we got a lower star, I was definitely pressing
and pushing.
Whoop.
That stretches that all out.
Oopses. That would explain why a lot of my things didn't go together.
Yeah,
correctly.
and because of that, a lot of people aren't a fan of pressing because
Is it?
learning that and fighting that habit is tough.
That makes sense.
When you have a iron like Laura Star, where you have this ability to steam it without saturating it, and everything's nice and flat, it works out really well. But you do need to make sure the iron's hot. And then the other side of that hazard with it being hot is then it's really hot to grab that fabric and pick it up and handle it afterwards.
Yup.
Which is kind of burny. Again, I don't have that problem with the Laura Star.
I don't either.
Don't know what the Laura Star is? Come on in. We'll show you.
I would love to show you.
She'll give you a demo today. But anyway, super nice. Super love it. Do I really need oven mitts to press my fabric? Maybe. Maybe. Not with the Laura Star, but maybe.
Not with the Laura Star.
I'll tell you, there was times that I was helping your mom and I was pressing stuff and I'd go pick it up right away and it was like, oop, I should have just grabbed the iron.
Yeah, might as well, because it's hot.
I don't know. So, we got some multitaskers happening over here still. We got Susan cutting out a t-shirt quilt while listening. Nice.
Nice.
Very cool. Deborah is doing some EPP as she listens.
Oh, English paper piecing.
Yes.
That took me a minute, but I got there.
Yep.
Nice. That's cool.
I mean, I am slightly jealous. Sort of. Only I wish I knew that I enjoyed doing it because I would do it myself because I would sit here and EPP with you while I was talking. Just to use the term.
Okay.
Get over it. It's fine. All right. Pressing. We're over pressing. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Bobbins. We have to deal with bobbins.
They're awful.
They run out.
They run out. Like, it's got to be the absolute worst. You're sewing along. You're moving at a great clip. You're putting that border on. You're getting to town. And 74 inches later,
you get to the very end and it's like
you've been out.
You haven't actually
inches.
stitched anything.
So you just did a really good job of dry running that.
You know how you're going to do it once you put a bobbin in?
You know what? Just reward yourself every time the bobbin runs out. Take a break, take a walk.
Get a little
step away from the machine the moment you realize, what? Why are you out?
I think that's why people sew with sergers. Like, that has to be the reason.
It's not the reason, but it's a very good, valid reason.
It would be a very good, valid reason to sew with a serger because you can see the whole thing. Like, I'm going to start sewing with a serger just so that way, like, I never have to deal with that anymore.
And actually, you know what's almost even worse than, like, a long run of a border? Multiple blocks. If you've done multiple blocks and you're like just going along, doing just great because you're chaining them together, and then
but you're not
really pushing them through the machine into a pile on the floor.
There's 6 of them hanging out.
Oh, that makes me want to cry.
It's the worst.
It really is.
It has forced me to want to quit the idea of ever quilting ever again because of it. I haven't even stopped. I just took a break for a moment. Jane's biting a quilt she was doing yesterday. Cool. Dolores hates the bobbin situation.
Me
Yes,
too.
ma'am. Bobbins should have a buzzer. I agree. Yeah. Some machines have it, and some of those machines will start buzzing way before you're out. So if you're like frugal and you don't like to...
The M17 does have like a little...
It does have a sensor. It's an optical sensor, which is awesome.
I love that about that machine.
And the M8 has it as well.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So
it like dings and it won't let you keep going, which is kind of annoying. But then when you take out the bobbin and there's like this much thread left, it's, fantastic. Anyway.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
So Vicky has 2 bobbins with thread I'm using, and then when those run out, I clean my machine. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Good idea.
Use your bobbin outs to use it as your determination when it's time to clean.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler if those bobbins were forever and never ran out. Are any of you working on the unlimited bobbin for us? The rest of us? Anybody?
Yeah.
Engineers
also, do any of you sew with sergers? I want to know if that's like actually like a valid reason to sew with a serger, or what.
I think you should try doing that first to see how it works out.
I kind of want to now.
I
have projects that aren't even cut out yet.
What are you waiting for?
Well, they're at home, so that's problem numero uno.
Okay, fair enough. I love it. Teresa uses her featherweight and pre-winds bobbins. Good call. That's really a really good idea. If you only have one cone of thread and you're using the same top and bottom, pre-wind a couple of them. Because nothing worse than having to rethread everything. I think that might be the part that incites the most anger. I didn't pre-wind my bobbins. I have to unthread everything and rethread and bleh. No thanks. What's Dorothy say here? Her older faff has a little red light that blinks when the bobbin is low. Nice. Very cool.
Teresa loves her serger.
Okay.
That's good to know.
You're going to have to work with that. All right, so bobbins. We're over it. Over them.
I'm over it.
All right. Poorly written patterns. This is something we do contend with.
They make me sad.
Just know that they're out there. Finding an absolutely gorgeous pattern. The quilt looks amazing. This is going to be a fantastic time. And it turns out they didn't pattern test it well enough. That happens. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
That's it. That's really all we need to talk about.
I mean,
I'll cry if we talk about it for too long.
I personally don't know that I've run into one myself. I've watched Danielle run into a few of them where she definitely had to rework the math a few times to get it correct.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say this. I don't think she's listening, so I can say it. Sometimes when we get started on a project, we should read the pattern fully before we get started.
Are you about to call my mom out?
Kind of. If you don't fully read the pattern and it doesn't pan out the way that you anticipated it to, you might want to stop and read the pattern. I think you all understand what I'm saying. I have to say it any more explicitly. She likes to just get started on patterns. Just go.
Yeah, but like...
take the time, read the pattern, understand what they're trying to tell you to do, but also know that there are some really bad, poorly written patterns out there.
There are. Yay.
So look for pattern corrections before you start.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Sadie. Absolutely. Go to their website, look for pattern corrections. Many pattern writers will get corrections in the process after they get some feedback from customers, and they'll put the corrections out there. If it's a pattern that's been sitting in your closet for a little bit of time, and now you're finally going to get to it, go search it. Find out if there's any corrections. It will save you so much heartache and anger and hostility, which we don't want in the sewing room ever. All right.
Susan says, I have hundreds of hours on my serger. I would never piece with it. Okay. Why? Like I trust, but I want to know. Like, I've heard people piece with their sergers. I've heard people say, absolutely not. I would never piece with my serger. This has got to be a conversation for another.
It is definitely another
video,
day of conversation.
But I like... Anyway, I'm planting that seed in your head because now I need to know.
Okay, and that's fine. We'll have that conversation one day. I need all you serger fans out there to have all your opinions and ducks in a row because somebody needs more information.
I do.
And we'll get it for you. Because that's a good question. Again, we've had the you can, you should, maybe not, I don't know. We'll talk about it another day.
Susan said, call me.
I mean, there you go. Hour-long conversation.
Yes.
And Pam's glad that we gave her the time to share and vent. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here. It's fun.
It's so much more
fun. And we all learn from each other, so it makes it even better. So poorly written patterns, be mindful of them, read the patterns, follow up, and check online for any updates.
Yes.
Patterns that are completely out of your wheelhouse.
Like they look easy, and then you start doing it, and you're like, "Oh no!"
This needs a template or paper piecing or a skill I don't have.
Right. This is applique. I didn't recognize that piece was actually just slapped on the front, and I don't know how to applique. Or this is curves, and I don't know curves. What do? It turns into a UFO. You know why? Because you will get to it eventually. In the process of quilting, you will build skills. You will learn these projects, and that's okay. It can sit and hang out. We don't have to hate the project because of it. We still love quilting. And the number one thing we deal with that sometimes we're just not the biggest fan of, my personal favorite, binding. I don't bind. We've had this conversation earlier. We've got several people putting binding on right now. I applaud you.
You're doing a great job.
Keep on doing the good work. I'm telling you, you're doing a great job.
You're doing God's work. Like, really, it's good for you. I'm really happy for you. One time, Dad tried to teach me how to bind. I had this little panel that I had quilted on the moxie.
Oh, yeah.
We sat down. You're going to teach me how to bind.
Yep.
I made it a complete circle.
She did a wonderful job of making a circle.
And I cut it apart. And I gave it to Dad, and I walked away. I was like, I'm not doing it. And then since then, I haven't tried.
Yeah.
I should, because I should learn how to do it. That's probably a skill I should have. So
it's really a skill you should have. Definitely encourage people to know how to do it. That doesn't mean you want to do it.
No.
We do have an occasional binding class that's worth taking. I would encourage you maybe to consider taking that.
I'll just ask Grams to show me how.
And then learn how to do it. It's going to be that much better for you. And then you learn how to birth stuff, and then you don't actually make quilts, and then you don't have to worry about binding because you're just kind of, anyway.
I ain't birthing nothing. What?
It's a term, my friend. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you mean like when you like sew around it and then you just turn it inside out? Oh, I've never heard of it being called birthing.
Yeah, bro, that's
you
what
have
it
to
is.
get a lot of stuff through a small hole.
Right.
Okay, that was really strange.
Good night, folks. It's been a pleasure. I don't know how much of that camera picked up, but she's not wrong.
Okay.
On that note,
Sadie.
we've got Joanne loving her binding. Sandy loves binding, or she likes binding. She didn't say love. I mean, the quilt's almost done. Absolutely. Dolores, she does her binding by hand, which is awesome. I know a lot of people that love just doing that hand finish on it. Looks classy. I love it. Traditional. Joanne, nothing like a hand-binded quilt, and she's not wrong.
Yes.
I'm growing more and more of a fan of machine quilting or binding. Machine binding to me makes
faster.
It's just faster for me. If I got to do it, just do it. But there are definitely quilts that put a lot of time in piecing and all that stuff. It actually looks a lot cleaner to have that hand stitch on there. But if I'm gifting it to somebody that's going to love it and live with it, machine bind all the way.
Yeah.
That's me. Anyway, so those are all the things that we deal with. And we still love quilting.
Mm-hmm.
They're headaches. They're frustrating. I want to throw my machine in the creek. Don't do that.
No,
that's littering, and it's not good for the environment.
It's not good for your machine.
It's also not good for the machine. But again, it's okay. We're all going to go through it. You're going through it. People in Alabama and Pennsylvania and Tennessee and Illinois and Michigan, all of you guys go through the same thing. You're not alone. That's just the hazard and fun of quilting. We enjoy it.
Yep.
Do you like me throwing my arms all over the place?
Yeah, that was great.
Everywhere. I don't have enough room for all my arm space. I have 2 long arms. See that? It's giant. What's Jessica say here? Machine binding. When I get to the end, I'm ready to see the finished product. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's get her
valid.
done. And also, if you're sitting here looking at the back wall behind us, if you need more information, this quilt behind me, these beautiful bright colors, that is Pivot from Ruby Star Society.
Sure is.
What's her name?
Lucy.
Rashida Coleman Hale.
Rashida Coleman Hale. Super cool print, super lovely colors. Danielle did this in the Lucy pattern from GE Designs. All of this is available in our store. You could do that in a different background color other than the navy blue. It is featured on the TikTok you did recently. You're going to check that one out. With that said, it's about that time. We're going to call it a morning. We're going to go get the shop open. You need to come see us. Let's talk machines. Get yourself signed up for that Janome. Let's go have a handy quilter in your car and get you home with it.
Talk to you about Allure Star.
You're
going to be so set up.
It's going to be a fantastic time. Anyway, we are done. We're out of here. Are you good over there?
Good.
You good over here?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.